Hey everybody, it's Coach Jan, and welcome to Tai Chi to the People. We're here with Sam, training out of the Philippines. I'm in North Hollywood in Los Angeles, California. And so if you ever want to train, come on down to North Hollywood. Actually, you'll find me at Shaolin American Self-Defense Academy, and Mark is coming in. And you'll also be able to find my dad in New York, Jan C. Childress. Yeah, he's in Manhattan in the Lower East Side. So good training all around. And today we're getting back to basics. As I mentioned in some of my, Mark, good to see you. As I've mentioned in some of my earlier videos for the last week or so, I'm dealing with a injury from a stunt injury and slash car accident where there's an issue on the lower back, and I am doing my best to heal that as rapidly as possible. So I am doing more of my basics, Neigong, basic push hands, etc., and really rebuilding a lot of the foundational strength that let me do everything else. All the grappling, all the fighting that I've done, everything really comes from Tai Chi and push hands. If I didn't know Tai Chi as a child and didn't know push hands as a child, I really would not have been able to do any other martial art. I don't think martial arts would have made sense to me at all because I was fortunate enough to have the foundational stuff, Tai Chi and push hands. So we're going to do some Yang Set Neigong, and while I am making adjustments in my posture due to the injury, and also questioning some of the postures that I've been taught over the years, and just to optimize for the natural state of the human body, to really push allow us to thrive. Because some of the stuff I've been doing, like tucking in or dropping the tailbone, I used to tuck in the tailbone, as I've mentioned in the past. I used to tuck it in, and I didn't realize this is around when I was just coming out of college, that that tuck would cause unnecessary tension in the groin, and that's how I got my first hernia. Well, fortunately, I only had one. And it really messed me up for my first go at the Tai Chi World Cup, where I had to compete with a hernia, and really intense testing, popping out. I got to push it back in. It's like really nasty stuff. So from there, Grandmaster William C.C. Chen guided me to, instead of tucking, drop the tailbone straight down like there's a weight on it. However, I think I might have been doing that a little too intensely with that idea, to the point where I was taking the curve out of the lower back, the natural curve out. Sam and I were talking about this last week. And as my yoga teacher, Joseph Pena, has really articulated to me, he said, like, one of the most valuable things we could do as human beings is to create that strong base here for the spine to articulate out of, for your posture to be natural and flowing upward. And so this imaginary string that we lift on the top of the head, and all that relaxation cascading down, still keeping those ideas. But when we actually do this right now, feet shoulder length apart parallel, imaginary string sweep to the top of the head. So here's some of the adjustments I'm making. Cascading relaxation all the way down. Rather than the drop in the tailbone, I'm doing my best to pay attention to the natural curves of the spine and to minimize the tension across the board. So across my back, how do I minimize that tension? What do I have to do? I think everyone's going to have to ask themselves this and make the adjustments accordingly. I'm softening the collarbone and making sure that each rib is getting a little distance from the last. So while I soften the collarbone, it doesn't collapse all the way. It's only a slight compression, and the ribs fall. Tailbone falls, and I'm allowing it to skate out the lower back. So I'm allowing it to push backwards, but not hold the tension here, just softening the muscle, but allowing the natural curve to happen. And so I'm just paying attention to these natural curves right now. All the organs naturally hanging as well, as Grandmaster William C.C. Chen would say, naturally sinking and sagging. Inhale to the lower dantian, the mouth closed, tongue on the ceiling of the mouth, and you see the breath as a color. Visualize it with your eyes open, gathering in the belly. Exhale, push down the arms to the palms and fingertips. Inhale deep. And again. Inhale deep, paint the color in. Exhale, paint the color out, down both arms. Soften the arms. Inhaling up, uplifting heaven just to warm up. Bigger breath, even deeper. One big breath up, exhale out. Remember, there's 4 stages of inhalation here. 1, deeper 2, interlace deeper 3, even deeper 4. One big breath, and your exhalation is just as long as the inhalation, if not longer. One more. And widen the stance, hollow fists, hips, and relax. And remember that imaginary string lifts you up. Pelvis rotates on the femur. Inhale, breath pulls you to the side and up, eyes to the belly button. Exhaling down. So even here, I previously would say, let that tailbone fall straight down. Now I'm really just focused on that natural curve and maintaining that. And remember, even if I'm talking to you, talking through this exercise, what you're training through the inhalation, meaning the inhalation pulling the color into the belly, and the exhalation pushing it out, you're training the willpower even more deeply than the circulation. So the willpower that you develop from doing these exercises over and over again, even when you're talking, you should still be able to feel that willpower. The same concepts that we're all connected to the breath are really connected more deeply to the willpower. So instead of the inhalation catalyzing my arms to go up and my hips to follow, it's the willpower. Exhale, push it out. And in that way, you can start to break the breathing patterns. Very, very important. It's really important to be able to know structure and know form, and then to be able to break structure, break form, and be able to return to it at will, because it really is all the will. So we're training willpower here in a very particular way. That's why we say weightlifting for intention with the Neigong. So we're going to do the Yangtze Neigong, which I haven't done in a while. And in all honesty, I was probably staying away from because of how intense it is. But we're going to take another 25 minutes and focus on this today. And we're going to start the very first exercise, inhaling up. And you can stand if you'd like, but the feet are shoulder width and a half apart. Breath lifts just the wrist, and exhale, sink and sit. Or exhaling, pushing the color through the palms and fingertips. Second one, you're going to have these little bear claws. Not flex, but just gentle bear claws. Inhaling up. 2. And third one, Phoenix Eye Fist. Phoenix Eye Fists are right here. Phoenix Eye. And you're going to create this shape, again, minimizing the tension, only enough to create the shape. Inhale 1, inhale even deeper 2, and when you pull apart, it should feel as if you're pulling apart taffy, like you're pulling the energy apart. So from here, pulling apart. And again, it's all in the mind, so it's not like a hard flex. This is not dynamic tension, it's different. Inhale, pull apart, and exhale right here. Matter of fact, when you exhale, it's going to be on the outside of the hips for the third one. So 1, just the breath lifts the wrists, fingers relaxed. Stage 2, gentle bear claws. Stage 3, inhaling up, even deeper on the outside. All of that, all 3 equals 1 move, 1 set. So we're going to do it again. Inhale up. And we're going to do the next 3 seated. Inhaling up. 2, 3. Two. Bear claws. 3. Breath goes into lower dantian. Even deeper, gathering the belly, pulling apart the taffy. Exhale down. 1 more. And now, inhale deep. And we're going to punch a right, forgot the name of this exercise. It's like serpent around the pillar, something like that. I'll get it from my dad. And you're going to inhale deep and you're going to exhale. And you're going to punch past the hip, past the hip. Inhale deep. Inhale. I'm being very cautious as well with my lower back. Inhale, drawing the color in, hollow fists. Hollow fists. Hollow fists right on the hips, glued to the hips. What that means is that when you glue something to an area of the body, you relax everything in between. You only activate the space in between as necessary, especially if you're playing against an opponent. This applies greatly to push hands. So that means that if I connect something to a partner, I only connect what I need, and then I inflate or deflate the rest. And remember, as you lift a muscle or as you drop a muscle, that's helping to take pressure and redirect it. Pressure spins along the body. It doesn't just go straight in. You can spin the pressure and redirect it by the slight angles of the muscles. So here, when you connect to your hips, you soften everything in between. Otherwise, you're keeping the flex up here. You want to minimize that tension. So softening everything in between the shoulder and the wrist. Inhale deep. Exhale. Inhale, draw the color in. The color comes up. The arm into the belly. Exhale, pushes from the belly out the arm through these two knuckles, index and middle finger. Pushing out. Inhale deep. Exhale out. Closer so you can see. Exhale. Now you can speed this little part up right here. Inhale, draw the color back in. Exhale out. Inhale, drawing it in. But it's less about speed and it's more about the intensity. You really want the intensity. Drawing the color in. Remember, this is the yang set. So ideally, you've done your yin set and built up enough energy, internal energy over time, so that when you do this set, you feel full and that you can dispel energy without fatigue. So you draw the color in, exhale out. And if you don't know what I mean by that, then you have to spend some time doing, and it's not yoga. Like yoga is its own thing. And in my experience of yoga, the yogic exercises, very few of them fill you with energy the same way that the Neigong does. Basic Qigong does not fill you the same way either. It's the Neigong exercises where you're intentionally packing the energy here. You're storing it intentionally. Every time you take a breath, it's like you're scooping something into a box and you store it. Scoop more and store it. And you keep doing that. So you have in your mind, you know you've created this groundswell here. And then you use this yang set to move that energy out. So just make sure if you don't feel the energy in you, if you don't feel the excess, then be cautious of doing the yang set and maybe go back to some of my earlier yin style. I'll come back to a yin style video, Neigong video soon, maybe next week. But make sure you feel full enough to be able to dispel excess energy. And one more. Exercise number 3 now. This is called the galloping horse. Inhale up 1, 2, exhale. Inhale up 1, 2, exhale. So notice we had 2 different styles. One goes inside the hips, the other one goes outside. Inhaling 1, even deeper 2, exhale down. Inhaling up 1, even deeper 2, exhale out. 1, 2, inside the hips. 1, 2, outside the hips. 1, 2. And you're just going to alternate. Every 2 is 1 set. So do at least 6. And from here, now we start the railings on both sides. Railings on both sides has multiple variations. And so there's normally at least two. So you're gonna go alternate one side, other side, and do two on each side. But here, we're gonna start, sometimes we'll do even more. We're gonna start here. And notice that one palm is down. Actually, both palms are down here. One middle finger over the other middle finger. From the side, I'm turning the waist. One middle finger over the other. And notice that my arm, it's not, the elbow's not in, but it's extended a little bit to bring the shoulder blade forward. So I want to extend the shoulder blade and get that, just have it disappear a little bit into the upper back to open the valves a bit and increase the circulation downward into the palm. The other arm, notice the elbow is not up and out, but it's pushed forward. The shoulder blade is pushed forward here. So again, on both sides, I'm turtle shelling the back a bit. Some people call it bear with the shoulders, but it's really the back that we're focused on. Shoulders happen afterward, pushing the shoulder blades, disappearing in. And we have our eye on the middle finger of the top hand. Tailbone relaxed. Again, I am rediscovering this, focusing on the natural curve of the spine, but my breath work still remains the same, which means that I'm inhaling in through the top hand, into the belly. Exhale, push the color out, down to the bottom hand. And if you want, you can reverse that. Inhale through the bottom hand and out to the top. Deep exhale. Now my top hand is coming to the bottom hand is coming to the top. Now there's two ways, and there's two variations here. One, you can have one over the other, with the bottom palm up and the other one down. But for this first one that we'll do, since we already had the palm down and just floated down, we're gonna keep it out. So right now today we're doing 3 variations. So turn. And with this exercise, one of the things you're training is the flexibility of the waist and being able to hold posture. To become more flexible, to be able to hold the posture within the twist. So I'm here, I'm twisted, gently, shoulder blade disappearing in. So remember, I push the shoulder blade forward rather than pushing the shoulder. If I push the shoulder, my emphasis is here. If I push the shoulder blade, it's in the back. Eye on the middle finger of the top hand, other arm inflated, shooting the shoulder blade forward, doing my best to minimize the tension in the shoulder and elbow, keeping this palm down. And we'll do 3 breaths in through the top hand, out through the bottom hand. And 3 breaths in through the bottom hand, out through the top hand. Remember, tracing the color as you do it. And now, dropping the top hand and turning the bottom hand. Now, I have scar tissue on my wrist, which means that the palm should be up all the way naturally. Can't do that. So if you can, definitely do it. This should almost be like you're holding a ball here. And we've seen this in many different Tai Chi forms, but here we're doing it on the railings on both sides exercise from the young set of Wu Style Taiji. Palms over each other, on the side, waist turn, and you should gently increase the twist. Of course, be cautious and conscious of there are many ways to do this, so you don't have to stay on one side and keep alternating like we were doing. You can turn to the other side as well and then alternate a different pattern. Inhale to the top, exhale to the bottom 3 times. Inhale to the bottom, exhale to the top. And you can inhale to the soft part and exhale to the outside hard part. Inside soft, outside hard, if you want to get even more detail. And inhale, turn around, the other side. Now look. We've already switched. Palm over palm, both palms down. Really sit in your horse stance, half horse stance. And remember how good these exercises should feel, not just for a standing meditation, but from a martial standpoint. From a martial standpoint, look at what we have here. We actually have a pendulum block just about to happen. Pendulum block right here. Now in boxing. Now I have my pendulum right here. So just really allow yourself to feel super comfortable. This has helped me at bridging Tai Chi to other martial arts, is knowing that these shapes are part of the transition to very basic shapes in other martial arts that help protect you. And some of the best protection will come from just very standard American boxing, very efficient. Breathe, breaths in, top, down to bottom. Breathe, breaths in, bottom to top. And switch. One floats down, the other one comes up. 3 breaths in, top to bottom. Three breaths in, bottom to top. And switch the bottom hand. Palm faces up now, and the other hand right above it. Inhale deep, exhale. Really feel the posture, the natural posture, the natural curve. So find that imaginary string lifting you up in your center line, and allow the body to turn on that center line. Really feel the center line. If you see yourself in a mirror, etc., just do this. Cut the center line right down the middle of your body, wherever you're looking at yourself. And try to find deep inside yourself that center line awareness that you're drawing right here with the fingers. Very helpful little tool, whether you're in a mirror or in front of a camera, where you can see yourself on screen. And that's the center line awareness you want to have, because through the natural curves, you want that absolute, precise, unwavering straightness, which is just an idea. Three breaths into the top, out the bottom. Three breaths into the bottom, out to the top. And exhaling, shifting to one side. And now old man rowing the boat is going to come into play. And exhale forward. Oh, of course, you're shifting to one side. And remember, Wu Style old man rowing the boat, very different than the other style. Your back foot is straight, meaning that the knee and toe, rather than out 45 degrees, are going to be straight in front of you. Sit and sink on that back leg. Make sure you have a straight line from the top of the head through to the heel. Previously, I would talk about dropping the tailbone to help straighten the back. Again, that's something I'm questioning now. So I'm allowing myself to have the natural curve in the back while maintaining this lift from the top, and still allowing myself to lift that front leg so that all my weights on this back leg. I feel much more stable here in a different way. So keep that back leg, those toes facing forward for your stabilization. The front leg is going to be shoulder width from the back leg. So if you put it right here, you're going to be awkward, which is fine. But if you want to be more martial, keep it just slightly aligned with your shoulders, slightly wider, and exhale, pushing forward, and drape the arms. Inhale, pull back. Exhale, pushing forward. Drape the arms. Notice that my arms are down. It's as if I'm laying them on somebody, laying them on a chair, etc. It's very, very helpful. Laying them on shoulders so I can pull the opponent's shoulders back with my body. Obviously, if they're a wrestler, they'll probably go right for your legs, pick you up and nub you. So there's different times when you want to use it for different reasons. Exhaling down. Exhale out, soften the shoulder blades. Inhale, two. Inhale, draw the collar to the belly. Exhale, pushing the shoulders out. As you drape, think about the ridge hand, pushing the breath through here, from the bone through here, in between index and middle finger. Very gentle, slight. Boom. Yeah. Two more. One more. Notice that I'm also in my A-frame, and even my A-frame, even my A-frame has an adjustment. The adjustment from my previous teachings to now is allowing that natural curve in the lower back. So I'm allowing the natural curve rather than dropping it out to create the straightness. So I'm just keeping, emphasizing more of the pelvis rotating on the femur to maintain the natural curve rather than relaxing so much that even my hip falls, pushing my lower back in. So just an adjustment. Again, this is all part of my experimentation and my healing process. So exhale, and one more. Still nose over the knee over the big toe. And now exhale, push forward. So we've switched. Exhale, push. We reversed it. Inhale back. Load, exhale, forward. Inhale back. Exhale, forward. Inhale back. And notice the shoulder blade. There is a load moment here. Load, exhale. And the shoulder blades disappear. Inhale deep. Load. And notice that my adjustment on the load is the lower back, the tilting here, and I'm really getting my hips. If my opponent and I have hips at the same level, I'm getting my hips under his here, and I push forward and up. And switch legs now. And now we're draping again. Inhale deep. Exhale. And it's not just an inhalation and exhale. Remember, the exhalation, you're pushing through the ridge hands, softening the elbows as the shoulder blades relax. And then as you inhale, it says that the hands float down and the weight becomes very heavy on the palms. Exhale out. So you're really dropping the pressure down and using your hips and the weight of your hips to add to that floating palms, because the hands should not feel light. They should feel light to you in the sense, oh, they're floating down, but they should have a sense of weight to them that makes the opponent feel like your arms are very heavy. You're not pushing down at all. You're creating the sense of weight by connecting the idea of your palms touching to your hips. So that pull back here, notice that the hips are pulling. So you really want to create that sensation, that feeling, connect those feelings, and it'll create that power, that vacuum-like power. And now load, exhale, push forward and down. Inhale deep, one, even deeper, two with the load, exhale. Inhale, one, deeper, two with the load, exhale. Inhale, one, same idea with the palms here. You're spreading out with the weight of the hands. Very important. Two, connecting them to the hips. Connecting the hips to the lower dantian. One. One more. And And here, shift the weight. Hands coming down. So you're coming out from your A-frame. Hands here, coming out from the A-frame, making an X with the arms. Relaxing, making an X. And the feet, now we're in our half horse stance. One foot opens up 45 degrees. Exhale, pushing. And here we go. Again, there are several variations of this one as well. My heels are aligned, toes are aligned. From the side, one arm 45 degrees from my perspective. The other arm straight from my center line forward, from where I'm looking, center line wise forward. Side. Notice that my elbow is down on both arms. Extra detail. Elbows down, shoulder blades forward. Inhale deep, exhale, push through the lead hand. Lead hand would be considered the yang hand, other hand would be extended the yin hand. Inhale deep, frame the body, extended hand, side hand around, cover, notice that you're covering and turn, press, exhale, and out. So we switch sides, soften the elbows so the shoulder is soft. Backing up so you can see the feet again. It can be tough to see in these pants since the legs are so wide, but my back leg is straight. I'm doing my best to get that natural curve of the spine and to extend from one hip all the way through to the fingertip. One heel to the fingertip. And turning, exhale across. A lot of times, we're going to speak through the rest of these, because a lot of times you spend several minutes in each one of these postures. Exhale, push. And this time, we're going to push the hand on the dominant side that was forward. We're going to push it and turn all the way around to the backhand. From the side, or from behind, it looks like this. Pushing, and I'm pushing out to the side. Almost behind me. I'm being cautious with my own twisting, but almost behind me. This is what it looks like from the front. Inhale deep, exhale. Inhale deep. And I'm now turning again, cross the arms. Oh, right here. Make that nice little X. And press and whip the inside hand out behind you, right here behind you. Eyes are going to be on the hand that's behind you. Other hand, originally in the first twist, we had our hand on the lead, the outside hand, or the hand corresponding to the back leg. This time, our eyes are going to be on the middle finger of the back hand. Again, other side. This is what it looks like from behind. My heels are aligned, my toes are aligned. Two more breaths. One more. Inhale deep. And now we're going to do, there are other variations, but today we're going to go right to chopping the laurel tree. Up, exhale down. 1, 2, inhaling up. Eye and middle finger of the rising hand. Exhale, stays on the lowering hand. And now as it passes the hip, eye goes to the rising hand, inhaling up, exhale. I like to inhale up, exhale down. But you can exhale all the way on one side, inhale all the way on the other side if you'd like. That's how I started out. But nowadays I inhale, lift up, exhale, drop down. Notice the coordination with my feet. Both feet are parallel at the end of each movement. Meaning the heels are aligned and toes are aligned. My back leg is straight, front leg bent. Toe, knee, nose, one line. Details on the palm, scooping like I'm swimming in water and chopping up. And now scoop, Notice that scoop is connected to the hip. Exhaling with the breath, lower dantian. And now chop, inhaling up. Exhale. Notice that I'm doing my best to stay level with my head, which means I'm not pumping up and down. If you do see me do a drop in level, it's normally on this movement right here. And the drop is very intentional. The rise, I'm doing my best to not deviate too much from the drop, but the drop I want to feel really powerful to whoever I'm blocking and bringing them into my stance. Many different applications for this movement as well. And now step forward. And sleeping tiger rolls over. Inhaling up. We're only going to do one variation today. Or should I say one version. We're coming up right on the center, and we're using the hips and the waist. Hips and waist. From the side, remember one arm is straight, the other arm is out 45 degrees. And notice that the hand coming forward is just making a very small circle. And that hand, that circular motion is connected to the waist of the hip, and the breaths all spiraling at once. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhaling up, back leg straight. Inhaling up, switch legs. Inhaling up, exhaling down. One arm scooping up, the other one's moving. This slight motion here is moving whatever's in front of you out of the way, the other hand's like right up. Really using the hip and the waist to generate more power. From here, lordly tiger leaves the cave. Exhale, pushing out. And this exercise really is, it's going to be your eyes. My nose is facing this back hand. My eyes are facing this hand. Push out about 15 degrees out. Oh. The toe of this back foot is only touching, only the big toe, ideally. And while I'm being cautious of my lower back right now, if you can rest your rib cage on your thigh, that's excellent. In a few months, I'll be back on doing that. Exhale, pushing out, inhale, deep. And inhaling out, exhale to the other side. Get a closer view this time. Exhaling out. Nose facing this palm, eyes facing this hand. 45. Inhale deep. Inhaling up. And palms facing right here on the top. Palms down on the side. Shoulder blades forward. Tailbone. My thumbs. So I do my best to have my thumbs disappear into my blind spot. That's how I know I'm aligned. Of course, the blind spot can be different than everybody. Hands, fingers about as high as your eyebrows. First. And about 2 minutes here, exhaling. And lay the hands flat here. This is very similar to embracing the one, but it's lower. And it's as high, hands as high as the floating ribs. And about 2 minutes here, we'll do 6 breaths. And inhaling. Even deeper. This is the most intense of the exercise in terms of breath work. Inhale deep, suck the belly button in. Bring the color of the lower dantian up, 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 and exhale out. Push the color out. Exhale, exhale, sinking, 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 sinking. Inhale, draw the color in. Hold, bring it up, hold the breath. and out. Relaxing, down. Hold. Bring the color up. Visualize the color coming up to the heart and push it down out to the arm. Hold. Side. Hold. Inhaling deep, deep, deep. Even deeper. Hold. Yeah, deep, 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 deep. Even deeper. Hold. One more. Hold. Bring the color up. Out. Inhale deep. Exhale. Bring the feet shoulder width apart parallel. And start the final exercise. Move the chi, exhale down. Inhaling up through the liver and kidneys. Exhale down. One more. Exhale down. And now, bring the hands up. Fingers inhaling, exhale, float down. Fingers very gentle, floating up. Exhale, float down. Weight mostly on the heels. And now, you're going to do those bear claws again like we did before. But lean onto the toes as you do. Fingers lifting up. Exhale, floating down back onto the heels. Fingers as you lean forward. Exhale, release the bear claws. And finally, inhaling up and just meditate. Easy breathing, middle finger as high as the eyeballs. And just stay quiet for a moment. And pushing down. Make sure when you finish the yang set, you chop from the toes up the body. Chop, 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 chop. Instead of slapping, chop up the inside, chop down the outside. Chop up the inside, chop down the outside. Chop over the shoulders, chop down the back, chop, chop, chop. Inhaling up. And guys, inhale to the belly, white light. Spread the whole body. Two more. One more. Thank you guys so much. I am headed to my, I'm a white belt in Kempo. I am headed to my Kempo training right now, adapting some of the really amazing Shaolin Kempo ideas into the Tai Chi system, because they have many, I'm actually going to shoot a lot of it tonight, many ideas that we need in Tai Chi that we already do, but we don't have language for it. And they have very precise language. So I'll be sharing more of that too. So more content there to come. Follow on, of course, on any platform, but you'll see the most content on YouTube, Coach Jan's Tai Chi. And of course, if you want to become a Patreon supporter, patreon.com/Jan's Tai Chi. Love you guys so much. And love you, Mark. Love you, Sam. Hope you guys have a great week. And if you ever have a thought, question, or idea, please put it in the comments and I'll be sure to address it. Thanks, guys. Bye.